So welcome, we're here to practice the Yoga Sutras together, and we'll start with a short invocation. You can just respond to me. Closing the eyes, double breath with tension, twice in the nose, tense the body. Withdraw in toward the brain. Twice out the mouth, relax. Double breath with tension, twice in the nose, activate. Remember who you are. And then release what you're not. And then respond to this short prayer. Om Gang Gurave Namaha. This means salutation to the teacher. We will begin today by reviewing the Sanskrit alphabet. Thanks to Linda for recommending this. And pardon me while I thought I had pulled it up, but I have not. Okay, so I'll be sharing the desktop screen here so that you all can follow along. And we're reviewing the Sanskrit alphabet, and Alejandro, I'll have you respond to me. I'll unmute you. I, u, u.
I, u, u.
Re, ri.
Re, ri.
L, l.
L, l.
A, I.
A, I.
O, ow.
O, ow.
Aha.
Aha.
Ka, ka.
Ka, ka.
G, ga.
G, ga.
Nga.
Nga.
Cha, cha.
Cha, cha.
J, ja.
J, ja.
Nya.
Nya.
Ta, ta.
Ta, ta.
Da, da.
Da, da.
Na.
Na.
Ta, ta.
Ta, ta.
Da, da.
Da, da.
Na.
Na.
Pa, pa.
Pa, pa.
Ba, ba.
Ba, ba.
Ma.
Ma.
Yara, lava.
Yara, lava.
Sha, sha, sa, ha.
Sha, sha, sa. The last one is?
Ha.
Ta.
A, I, u, u.
A, I, u, u.
Re, ri, le, le.
Re, ri, l, l.
A, I, o, ow.
A, I, O, ow.
Aha.
Aha.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Ka, ka, ga, ga, nga.
Cha, cha. J, j, nya.
Cha, cha. J, ja, nya.
Ta, ta. Da, da. Na.
Ta, ta. Da, da, na.
Ta, ta. Da, da. Na.
Ta, ta. Da, da, na.
Pa, pa. Ba, ba. Ma.
Ta, ta. Da, da, ma.
So at the lips, all five of these. Pa, pa. Ba, ba. Ma.
Pa, pa. Ba, ba. Ma.
Yara, lava.
Yara, lava.
Sha, sha, sa.
Sha, sha, sa.
Ha.
Ha.
Which brings us back to the beginning. Last time, you can all be responding here and watching visually so you start to learn the characters. I, u, u.
I, I, U,
Re, ri,
Re, Ri,
l, l,
L, L,
a, I,
A, I,
o, ow,
O, Ow,
um, ah,
Ah,
k, k,
K, K,
g, g,
G, G,
ng,
Ng,
ch, ch,
Ch, Ch,
j, j,
J, J,
nya,
Nya,
ta, ta,
Ta, Ta,
da, da,
Da, Da,
na,
Na,
ta, ta,
Ta, Ta,
da, da,
D, Da,
na,
Na,
pa, pa,
Pa, Pa,
ba, ba,
Ba, Ba,
ma,
Ma,
yara, lava,
Yara, Lava,
sha, sha, sa, ha.
Sha, Sha, Sa, Ha.
Beautiful chanting, Alejandro.
Thank you.
So we're now looking at the Yoga Sutras, and just to review where we've been, we're in the first chapter, and we're finishing the first chapter today. We have been studying over the last few weeks different ways of meditation, descriptions of processes people can use to get into the flow and to stop back the spinnings in the mind, to stop back any of the soap opera from the past. And the basics of the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras really are defining Samadhi, the full and total placement of the mind. And way at the beginning of the first chapter, we learn that these stopping back principle, like how to stop back the spinnings in the mind, I need a technology. And that technology is both a practice and a state of non-attachment. So back in the 12th Sutra, which is really the essential Yoga Sutra to learn, you can respond to me, each of you. Abhyasa, Vairagya, Abhyam, Tannirodha. Abhyasa Vairagyabhyam, Tannirodha. And this says that the stopping back internally of the spinnings from my past occurs due to a practice and the state of non-attachment. So these are like the two birds, the two wings of the bird, I should say. So I need a practice, but I also need non-attachment. Too much practice and it's just dry dogma, and too much non-attachment and there's really not enough discipline. So the further Yoga Sutras go on to define Abhyasa as something that occurs for a long time without interruption, with devotion, and from really devotion from all perspectives. In that sutra goes Satu Dirga Kala, Nairantarya, Satkara, Asevito, Vriddhabhumihi. Satu Dirga Kala, Nairantarya, Satkara, Asevita, Vriddhabhumihi. So in a way, I become firmly grounded, Vriddhabhumihi, when I do something luminous and truth-bearing, satkara, for a really long time, dirghakala, without interruption, and I do it with devotion, seva, sevata, from all angles, then we know this to be true. When I can really choose a luminous practice and regularly be in it, I become that. Sometimes I even reflect when we're younger and we have particular interests, whether it's music or sports, how much that identity becomes a part of who we are. Then non-attachment is described. You can reply to me. Drishta, anushravika, vishaya, vitrishnasya, vashikara, samgya, vairagyam. Here, non-attachment is the declaration of mastery, of non-thirst for objects that have been seen or heard before. So internally, I'm making a declaration or a volition, something really strong, a full knowledge of mastery. It is a choice that I'm making to not be colored or not be in a state of preference. And this is something that each day we each need to choose. I cannot control the infinite variables that are involving other life forms. What I can do is I can do my practice and then I can arrive in the river of life and go downriver rather than trying to paddle upstream or spin myself around in circles. The Yoga Sutras are very sequential, so what happens next is the definition of nirodha, that internal stopping. And one of the first definitions we have is vitaraka, vichara, ananda, asmita, rupa, anugamat, sampragyataha. And here we have that root sound, gyat, knowledge, wisdom, and it shines forth, prat, from inside, like prana, something that's native to me. Sam means fully. And it's connected to forms. Rupa means forms. So this stopping back internally is connected to forms, and it starts with a distinct or particular kind of thought process, which then leads to an investigation or a subtle movement, vichara, which then leads to a sense of bliss, which then leads to a sense of I amness, I the seer. And each of us has this, even if I'm learning music or I'm learning meditation. I start with a technique. It becomes more subtle. I develop a sense of bliss by being able to keep my mind focused there. And then there's just I the witness. So fast forward quite a bit, and we've made our way to the end of the first chapter. These middle sutras are defining Om as the fast route, chanting Om. That Om, in the chanting of Om, you realize its deep meaning. And it stops the inner obstacles. The inner obstacles are listed in the 30th sutra here. The obstacles on the path to self-realization. And then continuing forward, they're given several ideas of what you can do in order to overcome the obstacles, different techniques, different practices, if you will. And as we make it to the 40th Yoga Sutra, we learn that eventually meditation can be on the smallest or the biggest of things. So the subatomic all the way to the entire universe. And then at that point in meditation, one who has developed the techniques and tools and been able to stop back the spinnings in the mind becomes like a perfected gemstone. I love this sutra, we chant it frequently. Kshina vritte abhijatasya eva mane grahitra, grahana, grahyeshu, tadstatad, anjanata, samapattihi. And this sutra says that in one whose vrittis and one whose spinnings have diminished, the mind becomes like a polished gemstone, where the grasper, grahitra, this should really have a hat on the top of it for a long E, grahana, and grahyeshu, so the grasper, grasping, and that which is grasped, all come together. And we each crave this experience when we're in the flow and the mind is not editing what's happening. It's just the joy of doing and being in the moment. We've then gone forward and described the subtleties that happen in these practices where something starts with thought, vitaraka, then it becomes something beyond thought, nirvitaraka. Then there's a subtle flow, vichara and nirvichara, beyond even a subtle investigation of flow. So these are very refined parts of the meditation process. Where we left off with our last description was in the 46th Yoga Sutra. Maybe the 47th. But anyway, these processes with thought, beyond thought, with investigation, beyond investigation, these all leave seed. So we'll do this sutra, the 46th. Ta eva sabijaha samadhihi. Ta eva sabijaha samadhihi. And so what's saying is that by doing these practices, I leave seed that practice might sprout again. I remember that I've gotten to that place deep inside. And the 47th Sutra, Nirvichara Vaisharadye Adhyatma Prasadaha. The entire sutra, you can try your best. Nirvichara Vaisharadye Adhyatma Prasadaha. Nirvichara Vaisharadye Adhyatma Prasadaha, which is saying that the clarity of the higher self, Adi Atma, the prasada, the blessing, or the clarity of that higher self, is found in the lucidity of the beyond subtle reflection part of meditation. And we, this week, move forward, finishing the first chapter, where we learn, you can respond to me, Ritam Bhara Tatra Pragya. Ritam Bhara Tatra Pragya. This sutra is very simple and quite sweet. It says tatra. Earlier we covered that tra is a suffix meaning location, and tat means that place, or there. Whereas atra means this place, here. So tatra means there. Pragya. And this is the wisdom that shines forth directly inside me. Like prana is that energy that fills me up. This is pragya, the divine insight, the knowledge that comes direct from the divine, the deep, deep intuitive faculty. And saying that there, this divine insight is truth-bearing. Ritam means truth. Bha means to bear, so Bhara means bearing. So where? In the stillness beyond subtle movement. insight is truth-bearing. So I reach a place, for example, often when I'm teaching breathing techniques, and we've been doing a pranayama class for about 30 minutes. We've done vigorous breathing techniques. We've done more refined moving energy techniques. And then we've done quite subtle techniques, like alternate nostril breathing. And as people are continuing to do their alternate nostril breathing, or something similar, perhaps so from refined current exploration, with the inhale, the full place, the exhale, and the empty place. And I'll encourage people to actually go beyond the stillness. So there's a stillness in between the breaths. And then there is something actually behind that stillness. And this is what's talking about here. So beyond that subtle movement, or even beyond the stillness, there's a divine insight, which is truth-bearing. Interestingly, some of the research into meditation is showing that even stem cells are created in this gap between the breaths. The next sutra says, you can respond here in the black and orange where the words are broken apart from their sandhi, from their joints. Shruta, Anumana, Pragya, Abhyam, Anya, Vishaya, Vishesha, Paratatvat. We'll do some word combining here. Shrutanumana, Pragyabhyam, Anya Vishaya, Visheshartatvat. What is said is that this place that we're talking about, this pragya, this divine insight, it has an object, a vishaya, which is other anya than anything that we've heard or inferred previously. So there's something that happens in this divine insight stage of meditation, which no teacher can exactly teach you. Nobody can actually exactly describe. It's different than the techniques that you've been given. It's different than the lessons that you've been given. There's a distinction here because it has a different purpose. And so it's something that you get different than what is handed down through tradition or that you might infer through your practices. So this is the 49th Sutra. In the 50th Yoga Sutra, the first chapter, you can respond here looking in black and orange. Tad jaha sanskara anya sanskara pratibandhi. And we'll do the word joints. They come together. Tajjaha sanskaronya sanskara pratibandhi. In the whole sutra, you can do the best you can. Tajjaha Sanskaronya Sanskara Pratibandhi. And this sutra, j, is an interesting suffix in that it means born from. J, j, j. It's a suffix attachment to a word which means born from. And Sanskrit is all onomatopoeia, so j is birth from that. And samskara is a really important word. Here is where we're learning the word in the context of the Yoga Sutras. Kara has that same root, kre, like karma, kriya. It is something which has been made. Samskara is a subliminal activator or an imprint. It's something deep within me, like a seed. It is the seed of my past action. Samskara is something that is deep within me. And everything that I do lays seed. So it's, when I do something, I do a practice, the seed being laid that I might do it again. And earlier, just a few sutras ago, we were learning that even really subtle parts of the meditation practice leave seed, that I might reach that stage again, that sphere of realization. Here, what's saying is that the subliminal imprint, or the sanskara, born from pragya, which happens, that's that divine insight that comes from being in the flow. I oftentimes think of Jimi Hendrix, who sang that song, "Are you experienced? Have you ever been experienced? Well, and that's an allusion. He's alluding to this place of being in this divine insight, this really special place. And the samskara that happens at this point checks back the other ones. So in a way, because this place is so incredibly powerful, it really checks the imprints previous to it. It's like once a person has found God, nothing else will taste really quite as sweet. And in the last Yoga Sutra of the first chapter, you can respond to me. Here in the black, there is no orange here because there's no sandhi, no word blending occurs. That's not totally true. Yeah, I should edit this. This should be an orange. Tasya api nirodhe sarva nirodhat nirbijah samadhi. I'm getting too distracted. I'm realizing this must be an earlier version. This should also be a word sandhi here in orange. But moving up into the red. Tasyapi nirodhe sarva nirodham nirbijah samadhi. So the entire sutra. Tasyapi nirodhe sarva nirodham nirbijah samadhi. Tasyapi nirodhe sarva nirodham nirbijah samadhi. And this last sutra of the first chapter, which is called Samadhi Pavaha, the chapter on Samadhi, the chapter on cognitive absorption, we now have the description of nirbijah samadhi, without seed. And this is a description of what happens when I get to that place where I feel divine insight, where I feel connected directly to the source, to the oneness. And at that point, there is the stopping back, even of that, even the sanskara born of insight. Because now there is the internal ending of all. And this is the absorption that then leaves no trace. And this is just a beautiful sutra which is hard to really visualize, but imagine that I was just going through all of these various checkpoints. And then I reach this inner place where there's even a checking back of that checking process, where it's just like a whole new thing happens in me. So it's like I reach an internal place where just light, luminosity, or blooming or blossoming happens. So there's no longer this stopping back process, because all things have been stopped back. Nirbhijaha Samadhi, the process that leaves no trace. So this is the end of the first chapter of the Yoga Sutras. You can practice chanting them one at a time, again in your manual, in Google Drive. And the study of them is really a lifetime. We'll be finishing here.